Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stern coming at you with my weekly Sunday dinner stream. And as I said last week, I am breaking up that Russian ration, that 24-hour vegetarian ration, into 4 meals. So I will slip in some items from that one in between some of the other rations that I'm going to be doing. And tonight, I will be having this, I'll flip the bag over, zombie ration from allmres.com. And this is their menu Z. They use letters. They call this their Goulash beef goulash. And it comes in the same type of bag as the pizza ration that I had. I'm just cutting it open because I want a clean cut, and I want to be able to reuse the bag. There we go, and as you can see, it has a zipper seal. Oops, sorry, I bumped my camera mount. And I'll show you what's inside here. I'll just put the bag off. There is Pete, thanks for dropping in. This is the Flameless ration heater. And the nutrition facts for the goulash is put on a sticker, but it was never affixed to the pouch, and I'll show you that. There it is, the beef goulash. And I like what they did with this fruit pouch. This is the same applesauce as that was in the pizza ration. They put it in a plastic Ziploc bag, which I do appreciate. That way, in the event that this thing should pop, the plastic bag would have caught it. The oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie, that was the same cookie as last time. Oops, sorry, I bumped the phone down again. The white wheat snack bread. And there is Ruby, thanks for dropping in. And this is the double. I did it when I ordered this. You had the option of doing a double entree. So here is the second beef goulash. A commercial pack of Gardetto's snack mix. And it looks like it got pretty crushed. Oop, I pulled three things out at once. Loose in there is a wet wipe, a fruit punch clear drink mix. Now some of these I've had, moisture had gotten into them and they kind of stuck to the inside of the packet, and that will go in a drinking jar. Crushed red pepper. Deep rich coffee for an MRE mug. There is History Savior in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Cheese spread with jalapenos. A bottle of Tabasco. There's a packet of G&H sugar. Enjoy, and that is a brand that is sold to food service providers or commercial, like hotels or restaurants or, office cafeterias or things like that. So that's coffee creamer. And here is the accessory pack with sort of things in it. And then the last thing that I pull out of this bag, and this is why they call this a zombie MRE. This is supposed to be like a zombie body part, but it's just a piece of candy shaped like something. There is a History Savior dropping that super chat. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. I'm going to read the comment. It says, hope you're well. Can't stay because I'm in the middle of filming a movie and no break. And I'm sitting with Graham Greene, Dances with Wolves. He says hi and much love. So thanks a lot, and thanks to him. So you can always catch it on the replay after YouTube gets done processing it. Oh yeah, you can also get them at Sam's Club or Costco. They have the sugar canisters that are the same type as the Domino ones that you can buy in stores. Now inside this accessory kit, you get a chintzy little napkin. One of those commercial type packages of salt and pepper. And then you get a utensil set, a knife, a spoon, and a fork. But I won't be using those because I'll be using my foreignemery.com spork. And because I'm going to be saving that ration bag, I'm going to be putting my trash in this First Strike ration bag. Now there is not much for sides here, so other than the bread and these Gardettos. And just moving a few things aside here. I will hold up the nutrition facts for the goulash in case someone might be curious about it later. On the replay, they can pause this. I don't know how easy that is to read. Yeah, heavy on the condiments, and there's a long ingredients list for this goulash. You can tell by this. Some people may be able to read this, some not. But that's going to go bye-bye. Boil these. I'm going to see if I can get a production date here. This one says 9107. And what I will do, I will take the cheese spread and I'll put these in a pot put this on, and that will be sufficient to warm it up. I also have a kettle for my coffee. And have a bottle of water to drink. So I will take these to the kitchen and I'll be right back. I'm opening up the coffee. My heater goes on every while. So you may be hearing that off. If you make this where it's more like an espresso, not much coffee, then it's fine. But if I want to have a full mug of coffee, I'll double this up. That is all the water I will put in there. So it just is one of those where if you want the full flavor of it, you don't use a whole lot of water. I've had a few of these, as I said earlier, I had a few of these packets where the drinks got moisture in it, clump up and stick to the wrapper. So these packets are not all that great. And even a little bit of this one kind of stuck to it. So I'm just going to free it up. And that gets all of that in there. Oops. I keep bottles of cold water in my fridge. I'll just put the whole thing. There's old school prepper in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Just scrolling up through the chat as I mix this. Yeah, this bottle is actually a replacement for my previous drinking jar that my mother had given me years ago. I was using it for some hot drinks, and I guess I'd done it one too many times. And I did hot cocoa in it, and it broke, but I recovered most of it. I did not have the heart to tell my mom that I broke that drinking jar, so I just bought a vintage one on eBay. The one that she gave me was not a ball. I don't remember what brand it was, but it looked very like this one. Although this one has a slight yellowish tinge in the glass. But, you know, I wanted a vintage jar, so that's what I did. I'll put that there. Now this applesauce, I had this with the pizza MRE. Yeah, so I will not do that again. You have to have a heat tempered glass like a Pyrex that is made to stand up to heat. Or you use a ceramic mug. See this, if it'll focus on there, see if it'll go focus on there. Sorry, my phone mount shakes. It says Members Mark. Which is the Sam's Club brand. But it's, if you've ever had the British ORP or Operational Ration Pack, they have flavored applesauces. The caps are a little different, but it's essentially the same. And it's basically the consistency of baby food. But it's gusseted at the bottom so you could stand it up. But this one, you can see the applesauce in it, the color. I'm going to go ahead and open up the cookie. Well, it broke just as I was taking it out. But it's the same cookie as the pizza MRE. I'm opening up the bread. And this one is about the split. I can see a split line right there. Since this is a commercial pack of the Gargettos, I'm going to cut it open with the scissors. So this is what the Gardettos looks like, all mashed up. These are the toughest of these mini pretzels. They can stand up to the abuse, but these little things, not so much. Anyway, I'm going to take my kettle back into the kitchen and I'll be right back. I put the cheese sauce on the lid of the pot to warm that up. I didn't want to have that on there the whole time. I just have the crushed red pepper. I got the Tabasco sauce over here. I just got these off to the side so that when I bring the goulash back, I slide my tray over here so I can have a place to put that down while I wipe them off. I will put that there. I'm going to go ahead and give this drink a sip. One thing I do like about these clear drink mixes is they don't have that red color that likes to stick on your glass. Because if I drink a regular fruit punch, it leaves a red color behind. It does wash off, but it just leaves it behind until I do wash it off. Since this bread was about to break, I'll go ahead and break it. So this is what it looks like on the inside. This little piece right here is part of my foam mount. And I got it positioned. I can't get it out of the way. But I have it in the best position to get this view. But I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I don't yeah, glue it back together with the cheese. The cheese is the only spread that was in this. There's no peanut butter or jelly or anything like that. But I'm going to go ahead and take a nibble of this. There is a creative redundancy. Thanks for dropping in. That bread tastes about as bland can be. It definitely needs something. A sip of coffee. Well, here you go. I happen to have a body part. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I would guess an ear. Well, that is Chicago in the house. Thanks for dropping in. The zombie ration from allmres.com. And this is their the goulash. I bought these in October, and I'm just now getting around to it because I have other rations in the lineup. So I try to put them in the order that I get them for review, so some wait longer than others. But the Russian 24-hour one, I will be slipping meals from that in between the other ones. But the Gardettles, if you're not familiar with that, a little breadstick. This is a rye chip. And a mini pretzel. That's basically what's in here. And then the stick pretzel. So two different pretzel shapes. Might not be able to focus too well on this. That's the inside of the breadstick. What I might do if the goulash needs a little something, I might take some of these crushed up breadsticks and put them in there. But I'm going to go ahead and take a taste of one of these pretzels. Now they taste fresh. They have the seasoning that is put on all of these. I'm going to take a taste of one of these pieces of breadstick. They're still pretty crunchy, so these are fairly fresh. There is Angry Blacksmith in the house. A-OK Foraging and Adventures in the house. Thanks for dropping in as I munch on a little ride chip. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of this applesauce on here, so see the consistency of it. It's like a baby food. Yep, definitely the consistency of baby food, but it'll get the job done. So if you can go to Sam's Club, you can get a box of these. The Members Mark is a Sam's Club brand. Get a box of these organic applesauce pouches. You can put them in your hiking pack, or if you prepare your own lunch or a kid's lunch for school, or whatever activity that you need to take your own food, you can drop one of these in there. And of course, you can get these a whole box or a bag of these little single-serve Gardetto's bags. You can probably get those from Sam's Club or Costco. Walmart might even have the multi-packs of these too. And this had an expiration date, I'll show you this, October of 2020. I will save this for, I'll open this up later. But anyway, I am going to go get the goulash and I'll be right back. I am back. I get a paper towel to wipe these off, just so easier to handle. And here I have the cheese spread. When I brought them in here, I just put this in between the pouches. Get that out of the way. There is Aletha in the house. We're in the Ration Museum stream, some of us were. That takes place every Sunday at 4 o'clock Central, or that would be 5 Eastern. Now, since the tear notch runs this way, I just like to shake the food down. Definitely smells like goulash. Just trying to get most of the sauce out. Well, that one was almost a fail. I'll just do it like this then, if it's going to be that way about it. going to call that good. And that is the goulash. There is Chris in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Nope, I'm not frozen. There we go. It's got beans. This is more like a chili. And, you know, goulashes I have had have always had some kind of a pasta in it. I don't know if it's grounded or not, but since we are still undergoing a reno here, that may be part of the problem. There's a bit of tomato flavor. It's got a bit of spice, but I have either the Tabasco. Oh, James Ortiz is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Or I have this crushed red pepper. Usually I just like to, I prefer to eat these on their own. Don't add anything to it when I'm doing a review, but it definitely does not need salt, that's for sure. But Tabasco is a vinegar-based sauce, and I'm not sure how well that would go with this. I'm no food expert, but this is what the crushed red pepper looks like. I put it all in there. I'll give this a try with the crushed red pepper. That definitely kicks the spice up a notch, and it doesn't overpower the taste of the goulash, but it does seem more like a chili. But time to have a little fun. I'm going to find the smaller pieces of the Gardettos, the breadsticks. I'm going to put them in here. See if that does anything for the flavor. It'll add some crunch, that's for sure. So I'll put a few of them in there. See how that'll go. The beef is more like a pulled beef and not a ground beef, so that definitely is a plus. And putting the bits of breadstick does give it a crunch. But as they sit in there, they'll soften up. Check the chat again. Yep. Yep, that's correct. Mia, that would be if you're using what's known as the feminine form. Say, for instance, mia bolsa. And bolsa is considered a feminine word, even though it means bag. So mia bolsa is my bag. Actually, you would reverse that. You would say bolsa mio. If you want to say just directly my something, it would be me, and you don't have the O or the A at the end. So like mi cena, mine supper. And cena would be considered a feminine word because it ends. The rule is if it ends in an A, it's regarded as a feminine word. The feminine case or whatever. But if you say like something with a masculine word, like say say perro, for instance, which means a dog. Say mi perro, or if you want to say reverse, perro mio. Or say a sentence like este perro es mío. That's how you would say that. Or esta bolsa es mía. You would say it like that. Never thought you'd get a Spanish lesson with goulash, huh? But yeah, I like this with the red pepper on it and with the bits of breadstick in it. I do like the texture of the beef. I like that the sauce is thick. And adding the red pepper definitely does amp up the spice. The beans are a bit soft, but they're not complete mush. And the beef is not dry at all. So I do like that about this. I have the cheese spread here. I'm just giving it a bit of a knead, even though I had warmed it up on the pot lid. It's a cheese spread with jalapenos. I'll just rip the corner off. I'm going to put some on this bread. So this is what the cheese looks like. That definitely helps out the cheese. I didn't quite get a bit of a jalapeno in that bite, but if you're able to see that, you might be able to see the bits of green in there. That's the jalapeno bits. Yep, queso is cheese. But this goulash is actually pretty good. Although I do wish it had some kind of an al dente pasta in it. But putting the breadstick bits in there does help. I'm going to go for another sip of this fruit punch clear drink. The flavor in those is a lot lighter than your typical MRE drink. If you wanted it stronger, you would have to short the water. Oh yes, it is definitely hard to get good pasta out of a retort pouch, but it can happen. If they undercook it a little more than normal, then it probably would work, but over time it would still soften up. Maybe I'll do, if Dub C was in here and had this, he would probably do what he calls a megabyte. I froze for a second there, so sorry about that. Nope. Actually have no intention of doing that. Especially with something like this. You know, the chocolate cookie. There is Ruby in the house. Thanks for dropping in. And here is a piece of that cookie that broke off as I was taking it out of the packet. I'm going to take a bite of it. These are good cookies. But they do crumble really easily. I did like the cheese on top of this. But this bread definitely needs more of the cheese, so I'm going to squirt more of the cheese on the bread. That bread by itself is just so dry. There is Dave in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to squirt more of this on my goulash. The jalapeno will give it a little extra spice. Net pack. I'll try to mix the cheese in, so don't know if it will melt much since this goulash has cooled off since I've taken it out of the pouches. But it'll still get spread around a little bit. You can definitely see the bits of tomato in here. I spread the cheese out so you can actually see the jalapeno bits in there. I hope you can see that. Even with the cheese on there, that bread is still so dry. But at least it's fairly fresh, so that definitely helps. But this is definitely a good one, so I do recommend this one. Oh yeah, it has been windy here, Ruby, so do stay safe and always have a backup plan for power outages. Have your power banks charged up. And if you are able to have a generator, definitely, and you do have them, get it ready to go. Because you never know how long a power outage could last. It could just pop off for a few seconds, or you could really get knocked off like Iowa did when we had the derecho in August. Yep, that's right. We were warned about the wind, and when I went out earlier today to collect an Amazon delivery, And then I later took out some boxes. It was windy, not as bad as it was in August when the winds in some places were over 140 miles an hour. Yeah, it wasn't quite that bad, but it was still pretty windy today. Now, we didn't have that, we didn't have an ice problem here. The last time it got cold, we had a little bit of rain, but it was pretty much all blow and no show. Well, Pete, then you're probably a lot closer to where the Ration Museum is, because he's in Philly. Yeah, ice can be a problem here, but if you're prepared for it, especially if you drive. I don't drive, but I do hope people do take things into consideration when they're getting ready to go somewhere, and ice is in the forecast. Oops. Yep, I have a pair of those, and this winter will be my third winter with this particular pair. I was going to do an actual review on them, but I just didn't get that done. So maybe later on I'll do a review on it. And I've only had to replace one spike on those. So that's pretty darn good. I do like the kind where you can actually replace the spikes. That way if you lose one, or the little plastic thing that the spike comes out of, you can replace it. Yeah, well, fortunately, we had, after the derecho hit us, we had someone come and trim the sycamore tree that dropped a huge branch on top of our mailboxes. It didn't knocked them down, but it fell on top. It's one of our maintenance guy came out with a chainsaw and cut of it, but then we had an arborist come later and prune out more branches that were getting ready to drop. The next big storm, another branch would have dropped, so he came and cut some of that out. So we have less of our sycamore tree, but the birch that's right in front of my apartment, that one came through unscathed, really. Just dropped a few branches and leaves, and that's it. Yep, I call this other thing going the big nasty, because it is nasty what it does to people. So I do take precautions myself. I only go out when I need to get groceries, go to the doctor or my dentist, get my prescriptions. And I have to go to the laundromat because we still don't have a laundry room here. I have no idea when they're going to give us back a laundry room, or if they will. Oh, wow. That was a nasty storm too. You know, I saw the videos and pictures from the East Coast after that, and it was sure a hot mess over there. I should get that more in frame and slide this back far enough. Yeah, we don't have any pine or spruce or fir or any conifer trees here right around my apartment property, but there are some of those several blocks away. So all of our trees lose their leaves. And sycamore leaves can get almost as big as you see the area on my tray where the goulash sauce has been. Sycamore leaves can be that big. I'm just scrolling back through the chat. Now, thanks for dropping in, Dave. Do come back next week, and I will probably do a USMRE next week. I'm not sure. I have a couple of USMREs from 2012 that Aletha had brought me. I have a Norwegian Arctic field ration, a vegetarian one. I have a Minotaur Trading Company version of an Arctic field ration, and that one is Arizona chili. I have an Emery Mountain 24-hour ration that they put together. I won that from a giveaway that Jack of Trades had. And so that's the ration that I got. And I have some more of that Russian vegetarian 24-hour ration. There are 4 entrees in that one. So I can get 4 meals out of that. And if I have to add a few components from something else to complete a meal, I will do that. Or I may choose to save it for when I can do some ration mashups. My bedroom is probably like 57, 58 degrees in there. So that's how cool it is in there. And it's 62 degrees in here. The humidity is a little higher than I would like. In here it's like 52%, but my bedroom is probably like 45%. So in the winter, I have no issues with keeping the place cool and dry enough. Although after I take a shower, the humidity always gets jacked up. But in the summer, I have an issue with trying to keep the humidity down because it can get humid here. Oh, and older stuff. You mean like U.S. Emery's older than, say, like 2012 or earlier than that? I have had 3 brown bags. And the best one of those was the corned beef hash. foreignemery.com had that one, but I don't know if they will be able to get that one back in. They do have a few brown bags. They have a few first generation ones. And the one that I had was Menu 8. That was the beef, the beef and diced beef and gravy. And that one was really good too. Yeah, that would be a problem, but well, in the Ration Museum stream chat, someone had mentioned getting a full case with an inspection date of 2021, so those would be good. You got into next year to put those out on a tray. Had another drink of the coffee. I'm going to eat another bite of this cheese-covered bread. Right there is definitely a speck of a jalapeno. Now, speaking of coffee, the coffee that I drink in the morning is a bag of the Folgers 1850 coffee, which I bought a few months ago. And I ran out of my Maxwell House that I had been drinking, so I just emptied that 1850 coffee into that can. That 1850 coffee is pretty darn good. There are some coffees that I've heard a lot about that I would love to try. But I would have to order those online instead of go to a store and buy them. I would love to try some of those pour-over coffees that I've seen on some other YouTube channels. And I would love to try some of the Black Rifle coffees. And I definitely want to try the coffee that Marilyn Skull puts up on her site, andallen.com. The same site where the gooey butter cakes come from. There is DeCarlos. Thanks for dropping in. I will show you what my dinner is. The Z-Ration from allemerys.com. A double entree, which I specifically ordered. This is menu Z. They use the letters to... there we go. They call it Goulash beef goulash. And I ordered 2 of the entrees in there. And then I put the busted up bits of these Gardetto's breadsticks in there. I put some cheese spread and the crushed red pepper in there to kick up the flavor. It also came with a Tabasco sauce, which I did not use because I did not want that vinegar taste to interfere with the other flavors. You know, the beef in here is a pulled beef instead of a ground beef, which you would find in a chili or your typical pasta sauce. And it's not dry at all. It's really good. But I was hoping that it would be like a goulash that I've had before that has some kind of pasta in it, but it doesn't. But I'm okay with that. You know, I put the bits of breadstick in there. I put some of the jalapeno cheese spread in there. So it made it pretty good. And then the drink, the cold drink is a clear fruit punch flavored drink powder. It mixes clear. So I don't have that funky red residue on the inside of my drinking jar. And you get deep rich coffee, and I only put half the usual amount of water that I would normally do when I do coffee in my mug. So otherwise, if I put the full amount of water in there, it would be very, very weak, or I would want to go find another coffee packet. But this goulash, it's actually pretty good, so I would definitely recommend it. And because you get options to spice it up, definitely take advantage of that to your liking. I did not use the salt or pepper. Because I felt it was salty enough, and then adding the cheese, because the cheese is salty, that added enough of the extra salt flavor. Of course, Gardetto's is also salty, so that added more of the salt flavor too. But putting little bits like this in there to crunch it up, that definitely helped too. And that is it for the goulash. I also have this organic applesauce. This is purchased from Sam's Club. Doesn't want to focus on there, but it says Members Mark. Doesn't want to focus, but that's what it is. It's an organic applesauce. You can go into Sam's Club or order online and probably buy a whole box of these. I haven't looked to see how many of these will come in a box. But it is the consistency of baby food or the applesauce that you'll get in an MRE. It's that same consistency. Just checking the chat again. But these little things, I had this with the pizza MRE that also came from allmres.com. And yes, they did send me a replacement pizza slice for the pepperoni error. So I have that in my bucket of ration stuff. But these are great for hiking or lunches if you're preparing a lunch for a kid to go to a school activity, or you take your own lunch to work. These would be great for that. And you can just suck it right out of the pouch like I just did. There is Dub C. You missed a megabyte. I'm all out of goulash. I ate it all. But I did do a megabyte. So you have to watch the replay to see what I did. By the way, Dub C has a few items on a website. I believe it's Dub C Store. Yeah, I think it's dubcstore.com. And along with help from Black Dog Bob and Minotaur Trading Company, he put together some breakfast MREs. There is Maryland Skull, the genius behind the gooey butter cakes at Allen.com. And yes, I am going to order one of those espresso chip cakes in January for my birthday, and I want a bag of coffee too. I will buy my own birthday present. And this, underneath the cheese on bread, this is a oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. They're crumbly, but they're good. I do like these cookies. One thing I have back here that I have not opened yet, this is the gummy so-called zombie body part that all MREs puts in their zombie rations. I did not have one. It's in their lettered menu ones, not the ones like the pizza. Oh, someone dropped the super chat. And the guilty party is foreignMRE.com. There's Art, and maybe Nina is also watching, so thanks for dropping in. Saying hello, everyone. So all the goulash is gone. Sorry, I didn't save you any. But this is that gummy zombie body part, and it looks like an ear to me. And just back through the chat. Ooh, I loved the mystery boxes that I got from Foreign Emery. I had a couple of them. Then I bought one from Minotaur Trading Company. And those gave me lots of video fodder. I used a lot of that stuff for my ration mashups. And then I cracked other rations to raid the components and then reassemble them to make meals. And I hope to do that again. I may save one of the entrees that is left in that Russian 24-hour vegetarian ration, instead of doing 4 meals out of that, I may only do 2 more and save one of those entrees to do a ration mashup. So I may sit on one of those. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open this. It's basically 2 different colors. Well, a mashup is when I take components from different rations, say a Russian name, a British drink powder, an American coffee, maybe a French bar or side item or crackers, and just put them together to make my own meals out of them. Yep, that's basically what I do. So I am reassembling all those components to make my own meals. So I did that earlier this year, and then I did it last year, and I hope to do that again next year. So I think that's fun to do that. I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of this. These are very, very dense. It's like peach. This color tastes like peach, and this tastes like cherry. Yeah, these would have a high sugar content, but it's like any other gummy. So if you get the Haribo gummy bears, or the gummy worms, or the trolley gummies, and because this one's thicker, it's obviously a lot denser, but it's still okay. I mean, some people might like something like this, some don't, but I'm okay with it. My air conditioner / heater kicked on. I have it in heater mode. After my original air conditioner failed this summer before the derecho, which I'm glad it failed before that and not after. Well, thanks for dropping in, and you're welcome to come back anytime. So every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, I do these. Although when the next Ramadan comes around, I don't know if I will have to spend Ramadan here at home instead of going to the mosque every day and having my meal there after I break my fast, or or what. That's something that we have no clue about, because we don't know what this big nasty is going to do when Ramadan comes around in the spring. But I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. All I have left is, oh wow, that's, yeah, I'm a Muslim. I've been a Muslim since September 30 of '09. And the mosque I go to is right around the corner from Hy-Vee grocery store. And in the past during Ramadan, we gave them the business and they really loved it. And another thing that we've done during Ramadan is our iftar dinner leftovers, if there's a sufficient quantity of it. For instance, if we plan for 150 people and only 100 show up, then the leftover food gets taken to a local group here that uses it to feed the homeless. And they are a Catholic group, but they do good work. And I know a lot of those people personally. And I made some of the food runs over there myself when we've had excesses. I've done it by bus a few times, and I've cabbed it a couple of times. And one time the cabbie did not charge the fare. He gave me a free ride after I told him what I was doing. And what we also have, someone put one of those little free libraries in the mosque yard. And so every once in a while in the winter, because the plexiglass in the door broke, in the winter what I have done just by myself, I would clear out any snow that got in there and make sure that the books are pushed back so that they don't get as wet. Oh yeah, we do have a good mix here. You know, you'll find a few nutheads who want to say nasty stuff to people. But I figure it's their problem, not mine. Yeah, it looks like a sunflower, but wrong color. But this tray, for those that may not be familiar, this is a Tupperware tray that I have had since 1983. When my high school class had a fundraiser to raise money for our senior class trip, we decided to have a Tupperware party. And I bought this tray along with a few containers for my mom. And I bought one of those fillable plastic rolling pins that you can change the weight of it by just adding water. The more water you put in it, the heavier it is, but the less water gives you a lighter touch with it. And I only had used it a few times to go to picnics where we had to bring our own tableware. So I took this tray. But when I got into rations after I won my first MRE from Sticky Fingers 745, I used this tray for the review. There is a puppy breath in the house. Thanks for dropping in. You caught me pretty late, but you can always catch it on the replay later. So thanks for dropping in. I had goulash, a double entree, so I had 2 pouches. It's a zombie ration from allmres.com, and it was their menu Z. They letter their menus. They call it the Goulash beef goulash. And when you order this, you could have the option of a double entree, so you get 2 retorts of the goulash. And these are just Gardettos. I'll just slide the tray over so you can get a better look. The Gardetto's Original Flavor Snack Mix. And the white snack bread, which I put the jalapeno cheese spread on. And I put some of that cheese bread and these bits of breadstick into the goulash. And I used the crushed red pepper flakes that were provided. I did not use the Tabasco because I didn't want the vinegar flavor to alter the goulash flavor. And then I have an oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. These are really good, but they're crumbly. And they put in, this is the same applesauce that was in my cheese pizza MRE. The organic applesauce that has the members mark on there because this is a Sam's Club branded product. So you could go to Sam's Club and buy a box of these. I don't know how many's in a box. I've never looked that up. I probably should. I could look that up online, I guess. But it had the gummy body part, which looked like an ear, and I already ate that. And I did not use the salt and pepper, but I do save these. I put these in seasoning bags for camping, or if I want to put some in my bug out bag. And they give you this chintzy little napkin, but they put a full utensil set, which I didn't use, but I saved these. I have bags of these because if there is a time when I will not be able to wash dishes because I need to conserve water, and I have to rely solely on my stored water, then I would use these and pitch them. So right now I save them. Yeah, because Sam's Club is a sister company to Walmart. They're both owned by the Walton family of Arkansas. I think it's Springdale, I believe. But the membership for Sam's Club is $45 a year. And I had not had a membership for several years, but I went back and got a membership, so I've been taking advantage of that. And though I didn't go there this month for food, I bought all my food strictly from Walmart this time. But in the past, I've gone to Sam's Club. I would get the spices. I've got one of my bottles of maple syrup, and then I bought some of my raw honey from there. Oh, cool. Thanks for looking that up. That's awesome. So 24 count boxes of these at Sam's Club. Oh, yeah, Bentonville. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, I had a brain fart on that one, I guess. I actually lived in Arkansas for a few years. In May 84. County outside of a town called Buckville, which is more than a spit of a village. While I was attending Arkansas to a couple other places in Arkansas. I never got to go to the Diamond Crystal Mine, so I never got to dig for diamonds. I do want to do that. And, but Lake Ouachita is great fishing there. I love to fish that lake. I finished off the bread, so but the only retail jobs I've had were at Burlington Coat Factory for a week shy of a year, and then that store was told to cut its operating expenses, so I'm the one who got kicked. Then I worked at Walgreens for a time. And I still go back to that same store that I worked at, so I get my prescriptions there. Yeah, I do enjoy the Sam's Club membership. I have had it in the, you know, to bring supplies in for the mosque, because we can go there and get 600. You can get a box and all knives, or a combination box. You can get the huge boxes of toilet paper. I think they're like 36 count. And big packs of paper towels. All those bulk things you can get there. Because they also have business customers. So if people go in there with a business membership, they can get certain perks for their business membership. And they can buy all their bulk stuff. Or if you have a huge family that you have to shop for, you can go there and get your bulk stuff and take care of them all at once. Yep. That's a good winter food. And those oatmeal packets, if you wanted to flavor a cookie, you could use some of those oatmeal packets, and they've already got the flavoring in there. So if you use the apple cinnamon or the raisin one, you could use those oatmeal packets to flavor your cookie recipes. Yeah, I don't like to waste food either, but the only time I would, when it comes to rations, the only time I would literally waste something is if it's inedible. If something had completely gone south. I like to, believe it or not, the canned vegetables. If I'm going to make a soup with them, I don't drain off and get rid of that water. I use it. And with the canned fruits, I don't waste that syrup or that juice mix either. I either use it in a dessert recipe or I just drink it. Oh, yeah, when we had the derecho here in August, the stores here had lost so much of their refrigerated and frozen stock, they had to get rid of a whole bunch that they couldn't sell. And that really is a problem. And with the shortages that have happened, aggravated it. for and with the so-called just-in-time inventory system, when a kink gets thrown into that, it's chaos. Oh yeah. Back in '93, when we had that flood that literally swamped the Des Moines water treatment plant, we lost our water service in addition to power. And so I stayed part of the time with one of my sisters and looked after her son, who was then 6 months old at the time, while she went to work. So because of where she lived at the time, she still had power. And so when she was at work, I just took care of the baby until power came back to my apartment where I was living at the time. So then I went back to my apartment. But I couldn't use the water, and we had these cases of water from Anheuser-Busch. The brewery in St. Louis sent us cans of water. They had turned one or more of their beer lines into water canning lines. I never did save one of those cans. I wish I would have. Also, the National Guard had a water distribution site in the parking lot of what was then called Veterans Auditorium. And it's now part of the Des Moines Event Center with the Wells Fargo Arena. But in the parking lot, they had a place where people can take gallon jugs and go fill them with water and take them back home. And I think 4 was the limit, but I would only do 2 at a time because that's all I can carry. Because at that time I was living in the downtown area, and I just walked a few blocks from my apartment to that parking lot to get a couple gallons of water a day. And that's what I did. But had I, looking back on it, I wish I would have started prepping back then instead of just doing it, really getting into it since almost before I moved here. I'm munching on my Gardettles, by the way. But I used to be a part of a group called the Food Not Bombs, and what we would do is we do weekly feeds of vegetarian meals to the homeless or anyone just passing by. And I had collected some food, and some I would prepare myself and take it to the location. When I had a trike, I would just put it in my trike basket and go, or if I couldn't ride my trike, I would put it in a backpack and carry it that way. But I also collected toiletries and made up hygiene kits. And when that group just kind of went inactive, I still had all those supplies, so I just kept adding to them. And when I moved here, I figured, I have all these other things, and I have these other packets, these meal packets that I had also collected. I have all those, so that's pretty much what got me into prepping. And I've been doing it pretty much since I moved in here, even though I have less space than I did in my previous place. Yep, I've done that too. I saw a guy on a bench. I went into a food pantry that's nearby. They had some sandwiches, or I think some bread. I grabbed a small loaf of bread, and the guy was sleeping, so I just left it there at the bus stop and then caught a bus. So, and sometimes, I carry bus tokens even though I have a pass that I use, but sometimes I'll put a bus token into the fare box, or I'll give it, say, this person really needs a ride. And I say, here, go put this down a hole. Yeah, panhandlers. There are some places here where they're risking their own lives and the lives of drivers, and there are some who are downright scammers. So if I see someone out in the middle of the street trying to do it on like busy intersection, I have called that one into the police. But some others, if they're, you just get a sense about people. Oh, Pete had a comment killed. I don't know. I didn't kill that one. Maybe I don't know what happened there. That happened to Smokey's stream where some people's comments were just automatically cut out, even if he or his mods didn't do anything about it. I don't know what's going on there. Oh yeah, I pick up cans and bottles. But for a while, we were not allowed to take them to stores to get the 5 cents per each one. I just built them up over time. And then when we were allowed to take them back to stores, then I started doing it. Or, there's a Quick Trip not too far from me that has a machine, but that thing doesn't always work. So then I would just wait and take them elsewhere. Oh, okay. No problem. Yeah, everybody makes an oops now and then. I've done that too. I would, or sometimes I accidentally hit the send before I'm done typing it because I'm doing it on my phone because my computer is still messed up. I haven't been able to do anything about it yet. Yep. Here in Iowa, we are one of the states that for any can or bottle that held a carbonated drink or an alcoholic drink, you can get a nickel for it. Yeah, I do need a tech head. Do something about it. Otherwise, I'd probably have to buy a whole new tower. If I went that route, I would keep the monitor and just get the tower because that would save me a ton of money. If you can afford it, if you get a hotspot, or if you, yeah, you could get a hotspot. Looks something like this. Sorry about that. I just got interrupted. But anyway, if you get a hotspot like this, you could actually be mobile with it. So I used that when my power was out. That way I wouldn't be burning so much data on my phone that I do have a actual data plan on. But if you have more than one mobile device, if you have the capability to turn one into a hotspot, that's another thing that you could do. This one is from US Cellular. And what I like about this one, I can get another battery for it. And battery for it. That way, if I'm not able to charge it, or all my chargers are occupied or charging themselves, I could just swap the battery out like I can both the phone that I'm streaming on and my LG, which is my other smartphone that I have. That's the one that actually has cellular service on it. Yeah, I'm supposed to have hotspot capability on that phone, but when I tried it, it wouldn't turn on, so I might have to go to the store where I originally got it from and see if they can do something about it because I can't get it on. But that service is called H2O Wireless, but it runs off of the AT&T network. Whereas the Galaxy S5 that I'm streaming on right now, I had Sprint service on it, but they screwed me over, so okay, forget that. I'm not paying them anymore. But I kept the phone. And I like the capabilities of this thing. I haven't upgraded it, but it does get a little funky once in a while. It has shut down on me in the middle of a stream. And so that's why I like having a second one as a backup, because I can go to that LG, fire up a new stream, and I'm back in business. When I had Sprint, I actually had 4 because I also had a hotspot from them. I still have it. It just won't. It won't connect anymore. But Sprint is now T-Mobile, by the way, for those that haven't seen the changes on the old Sprint stores because Sprint and T-Mobile merged. But I had the phone, I had the hotspot, and then 2 tablets. And I still have those tablets, by the way, so they're part of my backup plan too. I would like to upgrade this Galaxy S5 to something, but I don't know which way I want to go. And I wouldn't want it to cost me a whole lot, but, you know, I've had this thing since 2014. I have a 64 gig SD card in it. I need to change out the SD card in my LG, take the 32 out and get a 64 gig for it because that one is maxing out. And I keep very few pictures on that one. And for pictures that I would post to Facebook or say when I post on YouTube what my next ration review will be, after I shoot the picture, I delete it. And when I shoot a video on either one of these phones, after it's uploaded and processed, then I delete them. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You know, just my great niece has her own phone now. It's an old one that my oldest sister, who is her grandmother, had, you know, after she upgraded. So, of course, now she's doing all homeschooling because of the high community spread here. That's pretty cool. There are apps that you can put on the kid's device, and the parent or guardian can also use it to track the kid's phone. I don't bother with that because my kid has 4 paws and a tail. Polishing off my Gardetto crumbs. My mom has a phone that has an app for her hearing aids. She got hearing aids last year, and boy, has that really made a difference for her. So she has an app that she can use to check the battery status and adjust the volume and turn them off or on. So that's definitely handy for her. Yeah, I have streamed from my computer also using my webcam. But the way I got set up here, I can't position that thing to do a ration stream. I don't have enough cord length or a way to mount it, and because this thing that I'm using, I'll actually take this off. So this is the actual mount. Got the jaws, and then this is a flexible arm, and it just clamps to the table. And I put these pieces of cardboard in there to give it a little more something to bite onto. Oh, there we go, fix that. Oh, CR's message, he must have made an oops because it says message retracted. There we go, that's a little better. Yeah, it's that's okay, it happens. I've done that too. But the weather here is supposed to be a little crazy. By Thursday, we could be back up into the 60s Fahrenheit. It could be like 16, 18 Celsius. So if it is like that on Thursday, I'll shut the heat off and I will throw open the windows. Let some fresh air in here. Well, so much for the applesauce. I just finished this thing off. Yeah, make up our minds. So. Well, all I have left is my cookie and a little bit of my coffee and a little bit of my clear drink. Well, he's down in Texas, so go figure. I've only been to Texas once. Almost twice when a car I was riding in almost took a wrong turn. We almost got into a highway that headed towards Amarillo. Nope, we don't want to go there. We just want to go to Oklahoma. Or go to some place in Oklahoma, and we nearly ended up in Texas. But that was quite a few years ago when I was in my early teens. It was like late December, and we were running around with no jackets on. We prepped for a winter trip, but we had clothes that were just not appropriate because we were getting warm in the clothes that we had. Well, speaking of food places on TV, our own Marilyn Skull, her site, AnnandEllen.com, and her gooey butter cakes have been featured on the Food Network. And when I opened that cake last week, I showed that box that had the Food Network logo on it. So how cool is that? Now, personally, I like colder weather because in the summer I can have an issue with getting overheated. Oh, you should, Chris. If you go to that site and with and spelled out Allen.com, you can look at the different flavors. You can get a 9x9 or 9x13. And you can also get coffee from them. I haven't tried the coffee, but now I've had 2 of the butter cakes. Oh, you don't have to order the coffee, but I'll drink it for you. I don't think the Ann has an E on it. It doesn't. It's just AnnAndAllen.com. Yeah, that's there's no E in and. Or the name Ann does not have an E on it for this site. Yep, there you go. Yeah, autocorrect. I turned it off because, being a bit of a language nut, when I want to type something in another language, or it'll even, say if I type Des Moines, it wants to change DES to Fed, FED. And it wants to autocorrect my name, so I turn it off. Yeah, Zombie Burger, it's a great place. And if you go in there on your birthday and you either tell them it's your birthday or you show your driver's license or ID, you get a free shake. And when we were there, Aletha ordered a shake, and because we were there for her and Jay's anniversary, our server knocked the price off the shake, of hers anyway. No, mine was paid for because I wasn't there on my birthday. My birthday's in January, so I have to wait till January to go in there and get a free shake. Another fun thing about Zombie Burger is their bar is called the Drink Lab. And just like the foods, they give these funky zombie or, undead type names. They do that for some of their drinks too. or all of them actually. But it's a very popular place, and now they have a heated patio, and that's where Aletha, Jay, and I were. They put these covered things with gaps in between them for ventilation, and they put these heaters in there. And I think they're like a propane heater. And when you look up at them, it looks like a bunch of torches in a ring. And when they got those things cranking, even with the gaps in the section in the covering, you can still feel quite warm. And yeah, we had to shed our jackets. That's okay. I'll probably be closing this out pretty soon anyway. 2 hours and 13 minutes. But, all I have left is a bit of a cookie. And so I do want to thank everyone for coming in. I've seen some faces I hadn't seen here before. And that's pretty awesome. And I didn't even mention during the Ration Museum stream that I was going to go live. Sometimes I do. But if you see my post on my on the community tab of my channel page, every week I post a picture like a day or two before I go live, so see what ration I'm going to be putting up. And I haven't decided which way I'm going to go next week. I may go to one of the USMREs that Aletha gave me, or I may go to the other Arctic field ration that I got from Minotaur Trading Company, the one that has an Arizona chili. Or I may go to the Norwegian Arctic field ration. That's a vegetarian one. But I'm looking forward to that one because I really enjoy those. And I have a special plan for that one. Yeah, Traversing Food always gets a lemon drinks whenever he does the Norwegian Arctic field rations. He likes the peach. So what I plan on doing is if I get a peach drink in that Norwegian ration, I'm not going to use it myself. I am going to offer it to him. And I will just pull a peach drink from my stash because I have a few of the Minotaur peach drinks. I'll just pull one of those and use that. But I do like those. I also want to do a comparison between the Norwegian peach and the Minotaur peach. But I'll have to wait till I get another Norwegian peach for that one. But anyway, so I will decide in the next few days which one I will do next Sunday, and I will post up. Thanks all for watching, and thanks to History Saver for dropping that super chat earlier. I do appreciate it, and thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.